and stress builds and pressure rises, and boom, you are triggered. Hello, friends. This message is for the person who has come to the crossroads and is asking what to do next. But you aren't getting any answers. In fact, there is so much more uncovered at this juncture than you realize. So before you go another day chasing, reacting, numbing, or surviving on autopilot, it's time to pause. Because this message is not here to judge, it's here to ask you something deeper. What is truly leading your life? Is it fear? Is it survival? Is it ego? Is it pain? Or is it truth? Okay, we live in a world that teaches us to keep moving, to keep achieving and proving and pleasing, but rarely does it ask us to stop long enough to answer the question whether the path that we are on is actually aligned with our peace. So today, this is your invitation to look within, to examine your voice that drives you, the voice that protects you, and the quieter voice that asks whether the life that you are building is truly honoring who you really are. All right, because if you do not know what is leading you, you may spend your life serving something that never meant to define you. If you spend your life chasing a career, a relationship, an endeavor that leads you depleted at the end of each day, what was the true purpose? Is it money? Is it fear of being alone? Is it in the pursuit of a dream that you were taught to want? We often answer these questions quickly without deeply reflecting through the lens of an ego, the part of us that is designed for survival. And ego is not our enemy. Ego helps us rise each day. It pushes us to build, protect, achieve, and meet our needs. It serves a purpose. But when ego becomes the loudest voice in the room, the inner voice can be drowned out. All right, the quieter voice, the one that does not come from fear, but from truth, that one that softly asks, are you happy? Are you at peace? That voice matters too. But imbalance can exist there as well, because sometimes in the name of peace, the inner voice may avoid conflict, silencing the ego when your authentic voice is actually needed to protect your boundaries, your safety, or your sovereignty. So perhaps this is not about silencing one voice for the other, but learning when each voice is meant to be in the lead. If your internal dialogue is out of balance, this is your invitation to notice it. We live in a world that teaches judgment of ourselves and of others. But where does harsh judgment truly lead? Does it create fulfillment? Does it build healthy love? Does it bring peace? True balance begins within. There are no shortcuts. There are no quick fixes and no empty rituals that can sustain your honest inner healing. When you learn to heal the voice from within, you begin to transform the world you live in, because inner balance creates outer alignment. So you may be thinking, okay, I know this. I know I lean too far one way sometimes. I know I need balance. I pause. I ground. I do the work. But then life happens. And the boss makes an unrealistic demand, or a friend or partner or family member takes more than they give. And stress builds and pressure rises, and boom, you are triggered. Suddenly the balance is gone. Anger takes over, resentment floods in, negative inner dialogue gets loud. And whether subtle or severe, before you even realize it, you are repeating an old pattern, a habit, a coping mechanism, a distraction, something that numbs the pain. And even though part of you knows this is not helping me, it doesn't matter. You're already in motion. And when that dust settles and the anger fades, you realize something painful. You just self sabotaged your own peace. Because in the end, the person most affected by that cycle was you. Okay, this is the loop many people live every day, day in, day out, for years, sometimes for a lifetime. Maybe you know this cycle too, but it does not have to stay this way. Okay, and no, I am not here to tell you that healing means life becomes effortless. Triggers still exist. People will still challenge you. Life will still test you. The message is not to eliminate every trigger. The message is to identify it. Know what activates you. Know where it begins. Know how it moves through you. Because until you understand why a trigger controls your reactions, it will continue to control your actions. This is where real healing will begin. Not in avoidance, not in awareness. Think of it as reprogramming. Choosing self-love over self-numbing. Choosing self-awareness over self-destruction. Self-love, real love, is not selfish. It's not arrogance. It's not self-absorption. Self-love is giving yourself the same value, the same compassion, the same respect that you so freely give to everyone else. Because if you cannot offer yourself kindness, if you cannot honor your own worth, how can you truly sustain giving it to others? Now, keep in mind, there is a reason for everything. Every beautiful moment you experience, every tear you shed, every heartbreak, every incredible accomplishment, every one carries a lesson. Each one holds a message. Each one offers guidance along your path. Even your triggers, even your pain, even the moments that challenge you the most. They too have something to teach. So today, I just ask one thing of the person this message resonates with. Take a moment and reflect on the brightest, most honest moment of your life. A moment when you fully felt alive, fully aligned, fully yourself. Now ask yourself, how can you bring that energy, that truth, into a difficult moment you are facing right now, at that juncture, at that crossroad? And conversely, when you reflect on the hardest moments you have survived, the pain you have endured, the battles that you have overcome, how can those experiences keep your ego grounded? How can they remind you of your strength without hardening your heart? Because both your light and your shadow belong here and now. Your joy, your pain, your victories, your wounds, they are not separate from this journey. They are the fabric of it. And when you stop reacting and stop rejecting one side in favor of the other, when you learn to acknowledge both, honor both, and embrace both as necessary parts of your becoming, you create balance. And in that balance, you may find a deeper peace, more deep than you ever thought possible. As you move through this moment, do not ask yourself only what you can achieve. Ask yourself, what am I feeding? What am I following? What within me is leading my choices? Because a life built only on survival may keep you standing, but a life built on awareness, truth, and balance will actually set you free. You are not here to silence your ego. You are not here to abandon your heart. You are here to learn the wisdom in both, to recognize when to protect, when to soften, when to rise, and when to heal. Your triggers are not your identity. Your past is not your prison. Your pain is not your permanent home. They're just lessons, signals, sacred opportunities to understand yourself more deeply. So honor your light, honor your shadow, honor the lessons that shaped you, but do not remain bound to the patterns that break you. Choose awareness, choose balance, and choose the kind of self-love that restores your peace instead of sacrificing it. And remember, when you learn to lead yourself from within, no external force can so easily lead you away from yourself ever again. Until the next time, peace and light.